Hey, I've got my hat on, my bowler hat, so that must mean it's time for a story. I'm going to tell you a little story about my childhood. Make you feel sorry for me. Um, yeah, I was 10. No, because just after my 11 plus, just after I'd failed my 11 plus exam. Don't know if kids still do that. Anyway, just after I'd failed it, I'd gone to live with some foster parents in southeast London. I suppose they got fed up with me in the children's home. Or anyway, these people wanted me. The woman, the foster mother, let's call her Aggie Davis, said to me when I arrived, well, no, the foster dad came and picked me up from the children's home in the number on the number 68 bus. We got on the 68 bus and we went from Shirley and Croydon. I think it was just one bus, may have been two. 68 bus. Yeah, we went from there to Herne Hill in London, southeast London. And the lady there, the foster mother, she said, what we're going to do, John, is you're going to have 2 weeks, nice holiday. And after the 2 weeks is over, then you can start working. I didn't know I was going to work. I thought I was going, I was going to start secondary school. But yeah, I was actually, she wasn't kidding, this woman. I was there to work. There was another foster boy there, a couple of years older than me. And I don't remember much about him. He's quiet lad. Yeah, so what was happening was that this lady, she had a husband, the one who picked me up, who I really loved. I grew to love him. He was a fine man. I don't think he knew what his missus was like. She was wicked. She was a wicked woman. She used to beat us. Fists, slaps, kicks. Because what you did was, when you were being beaten, is you immediately got down on the floor and you curled yourself up into a ball, so, protecting yourself. A good strategy. I'm not making this up. This is true. It's like going back to Dickens' day, isn't it? It gets even worse. Anyway, so this woman was a foster mother. She'd obviously been approved, and yeah. But what I don't think they knew, the London County Council and the social workers. We didn't call them social workers then. We called them welfare officers. What they didn't know is that this house I'd gone to wasn't just her and her husband and the other boy and me. It was a lodging house. Downstairs, in the back room, were 12 beds, where mostly Irishmen came and lived. Navvies, I think they were, just working on the roads and stuff and building. And so me and David we had to help make the beds and things like that. That was supposed to be our bedroom, but in fact I can't remember where David slept. Maybe he slept in that room as well. I slept. My bed was a put-you-up, fold-out chair upstairs in the main living room, which was also the dining room where the lodgers all came and had their meals and stuff. And my bed there was a black and white television. And my bed was beside it. The head of the bed the chair was beside it, and you folded it out when it was bedtime. I was expected to go to bed about, I don't know, 7:30ish, with the television on, with all these blokes watching program, while I had to bloody well try and go to sleep. And sometimes it was a program I would have very much liked to have watched, but I couldn't. I wasn't allowed to. You can't, honestly. This is not made up. This is the true story of what happened. I keep saying that because I find it unbelievable myself sometimes what I went through. So yeah, and the dishes, the peeling potatoes and preparing the vegetables, was all down to me and David. Although I think David used to go off working someplace in the evenings. I didn't know much about him. Very quiet lad. He used to get a good hiding as well, for no good reason. I couldn't really see any reason why either of us used to get a good hiding. I remember years later when I went back to see my foster dad. How did I go? Oh, I was running away from another place in Scotland, and I went back. I didn't have anywhere to go. I went back to see him, and he couldn't believe that I'd been in so much trouble because he's. This was years later. Johnny said, "You never used to say boo to a goose. You was a very quiet lad." And I suppose I was. I think I had a bit of a temper, but it didn't show very often. Yeah. So anyway, I was in this. I'd come from a children's home. There were 12 of us in this children's home. I can still remember some of the names of some of the other kids there. Shirley Oaks Children's Home. So I'd gone to this place, and it was fine for the first couple of weeks. I explored around the place, went over to the local park, climbing trees and doing things that boys do. And then suddenly the 2 weeks was over. It's time to get started working. And that's what I did. Made beds, peeled potatoes, prepared vegetables, did the shopping, went down to the shops to get a few stone of potatoes that I had to carry back to the house, plus other things. She was very good at making steak and kidney pie, this woman. Steak and kidney pie and chips was the most favourite meal that I had there. Of course, I cut the chips. But yeah, I used to love that meal. The pastry was very good. I used to watch her making the pastry. She said to me, she used to have a fag in her mouth all the time, and the ash used to drop off. And she said to me one day, "It's very good for cleaning your fingernails, this, John." She was mixing the pastry up like that. Well, I mean, I didn't know any better, so I just enjoyed eating the pies. One of my other jobs was she would give me a bag, a carrier bag, a string handle bag. It wasn't great big, it's about that high. And I had to go to the park and the local streets, and I had to collect dog ends. cigarette ends, fag ends we called them. I had to collect them. I had to get a nice bag full. Don't come back until you've got a good bag full. So I would go in the park and I'd collect. It was terrible. It was a horrible job on a wet day because they were all bloody soggy. God knows what sort of diseases I must have been handling when I was picking these bloody things up. So sometimes, if it wasn't possible to get them in the park with the paths were all wet, I could sneak into the local pub and go around the ashtrays and get the dog ends that way. I used to get chased out. Sometimes I'd used to get in and have a good old collection, and off I'd go. And I had to bring them back. I had to bring the dog ends back, and she'd tell me whether I was a good boy or whatever, or I hadn't tried hard enough. And that's funny. Yeah, so I put all these cigarettes ends on the table on an old newspaper, and I used to have to undo them and put the tobacco to one side. There wasn't much tobacco, but by the time I'd finished them, there was quite a nice pile of tobacco. And then she would send me down to the corner shop, and I had to buy, I'll never forget, 1/2 ounce of Virginia nosegay and cigarette papers. So I'd go and get that, and then I'd come back, and she'd take the packet, and she'd mix all the old tobacco with this new tobacco. And she had a little rolling machine, and I used to have to try and just get them enough tobacco in so that I got a nice cigarette, but not too thick. And I used to roll all the cigarettes, and then she would sell them. She would sell these cigarettes to the lodgers. Oh, I suppose they were quite grateful for them. What else was I going to tell you about that place? Yeah, I suppose it was just life. You just thought of it. That's just the way my life was. Oh, pardon me. I just had a couple of crumpets, buttered crumpets. She also used to take me to Brixton, which is just a couple of miles down the road on the bus, and we'd do shoplifting. I don't think you'd call it shoplifting in those days. It was just stealing in those days. Nowadays, it's got its own name. And I'd get things. For some reason, I remember she used to get me to take sunglasses. I think they were on some sort of stand, and they were quite easy for a little fella like me to get. And baseball boots. I used to have to steal my own baseball boots. Baseball boots, they were called, nowadays they're called something fancy, but they're just basically what I used to wear on my feet most of the time in this foster home. In the children's home, you had proper shoes and proper boots with hobnails in them, and in the summer you had sandals. But at this place, I had shoes for school, black shoes, but most of the time I had to I wore baseball boots. I was happy. I quite liked them. Yeah, that's a little incident a little couple of incidents about that place. So, yeah, the thieving was, she would take anything. We used to go into Woolworths, and they used to have a cafeteria thing and a counter, and they used to have these sugar shakers and salt and pepper cruets. They'd be all into a bag. Well, you see, I'd come from a children's home. You were God fearing. You did not steal. It was a completely new way of life I'd just been introduced. She was like Fagin. It was like Dickens, isn't it? Anyway, that's that. What else I'm up to these days? I had a few days when I couldn't paint the wagon because it was raining or too cold. But yesterday, in the morning, I happened to notice, excuse me, I've got an itch here. I happened to notice that it was 50 degrees. And that's the temperature that you can paint between, believe it or not, between 50 and 77. I'm talking Fahrenheit here. I think 50 is about 10 centigrade or Celsius. And so I bought this paint. This is the undercoat. And I was telling George, my son, yesterday. Was it yesterday I painted? Yeah, yesterday. When it was 50 degrees. I was telling George about this paint. I said, how much do you reckon that tin of paint cost, George? He said, I don't know, tenner, Dad. I said, it cost. Well, I bought two. I bought a tin of undercoat and the top coat, the gloss is down there. Two 5-litre tins. 254 quid for 2 tins of paint. But luckily, I've found out that I've only used half of this, and I've finished painting most of the wagon, most of the undercoat, so I can actually undercoat it again. And you've got 8 years weather protection. Yeah. But, so I'm spending bloody money. Do you like my new glasses, by the way? Look at these. They're just glasses, aren't they? How much do you reckon they cost? I'm not complaining about it. I just these glasses, Verilux glasses, cost me 575 quid. I put them on my credit card, as a lot of things do these days. But I try and pay it off as quickly as I can. Yeah, 575 quid. They're not even that bloody great. I mean, you'd think for that much money you'd get a rim on them, or a frame around them. But no, they're bloody frameless glasses. Cost more than the frames. I don't understand the modern world. I really don't. Yeah, and also what I'm doing is I'm writing my book. I had to restart it because I thought, no, I can't. I don't want to be racist or anything like that. It might have been sounding racist. No, I didn't intend it. But it's like it's a book about an invasion of England. So what I've done is I've changed it now. It's an invasion of England, but by aliens from outer space. And I think it's what you call an analogy. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it's obviously what's taking place. And I'm quite enjoying writing it. I'm 20,000 words in. I should have been more, but because I had to start rewriting it. But I like to do about 500 words every day. Whether it'll ever get finished, I don't know, but it's not like a novel. It's not like a complete novel. It's turned into I call them vignettes. I think that's the right word. It's a series of vignettes about life after the alien invasion, the run up to it, what happened. You can go on this because I've got Office Word, I think it's called Office 365, and it does all the punctuation and grammatical errors. It sorts them all out for you. Absolutely amazing. And it's got AI that will give a whole summary of what you've just written. I think it's incredible. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. 20 odd minutes. I do hope I can get out on my bike soon. I tell you what, I hate saying this, but I'm depressed. I'm suffering depression. I know for a fact I am. I find it very, very difficult going out and meeting people like I used to do. And I spend too long asleep in the mornings. I mean, I don't go to bed. I don't go to bed at night. I go to bed about 4 or 5 in the morning, sometimes 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm definitely depressed. You wouldn't know it, would you, looking at me? Or maybe you would. But yes, I am depressed. I've had people inviting me places, and I've said, oh yeah, I'd like that. But when it comes down to it, I can't do it. Got invited to a quiz night. I thought, oh, I'd quite like that. Didn't do it. Got invited to some open mic nights. I want to go. I get there. Maybe it's just old age. I've suddenly got old. I noticed that. I've gone from being a tough old bloke to not being so tough. I chainsawed some logs yesterday. I think I lasted about half an hour before I suddenly thought, no, this chainsaw's too bloody heavy. My back was hurting. I shouldn't be complaining, should I? I mean, honestly, what the hell is the matter with me? I'm doing plenty for my age. I'm 78 years old, you know. I'm building a gypsy wagon. I'm writing a book. I'm chopping wood. I'm planting trees out there still. And I always think I'm not doing enough. I don't even know if I'm going to put this video up. I probably will, because I think, crikey, I haven't spoken to anyone for, I think it's about 11 days I haven't put a video up. So, yeah, that's what's happening. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little tale from my childhood days. Look at that cat. Can you see her? Oh. Bonnie Bon. Bonnie's got a new bed. I thought she wouldn't like it, but she does like it. Yeah, okay. Thanks for looking in. I hope I haven't depressed you. I know I'm laughing and smiling, but I don't understand it myself, but I know there's something not quite right with me. People have been saying that for years, haven't they? Oh, you've got to laugh. I'm laughing now. You'll take care. From me and Bonnie the Ginger Cat, goodbye for now. Bye-bye. Bye.